to you. It's great to be back again with Midweek Sports Special, and we feature, as you've seen already, the game between Norwich City and Liverpool in the quarter-finals of the Football League Cup. Also tonight, football from across the other side of the world, from China. A fascinating, exclusive glimpse of the Chinese sporting scene. And what a goal that was. But first we come to the football action here at home, Norwich against Liverpool, and I can promise you a really absorbing game of football, covered for us by the cameras of Anglia Television. The commentator's Jerry Harrison. Let's join him now at Carrow Road in Norwich.
Well, tonight, Norwich manager John Bond taking a gamble. We haven't been playing well, he says, so no point in doing nothing and hoping. 3 changes, one of them positional from the side which drew here with Aston Villa. Phil Hoadley back at centre-half. Mick Maguire, who asked for a transfer after being left out at the weekend, had it granted yesterday, gets an immediate recall for tactical reasons in midfield tonight. Martin Peters, the most experienced player on the field, will play farther up front, filling the gap left by the automatic suspension of Justin Fashanu. Bob Paisley named the same Liverpool side that won 4-0 at the weekend, unchanged for the 7th consecutive game. This is, in fact, the lineup which started the season so impressively in the Charity Shield. In the 12 times they've played together, they haven't been beaten. Kenny Dalglish, who hasn't missed a competitive game of any sort since he joined Liverpool 18 months ago, is one of the reasons Norwich have made changes. David Johnson's speed and directness could cause them problems, but the move is to cut off their midfield source of supply. Well, although spectators at the other end made unfortunate headlines at the weekend, Norwich developing rapidly on and off the field. The new £1 million stand, it'll be officially opened on Boxing Day and will have taken only 8 months to complete. So the referee here is Clive White from Harrow, FIFA panel for 4 seasons. It's been a wet and windy day here in Norfolk, but it's wet on the surface, but the wind happily has dropped. It's going to be Norwich City to kick off. Norwich City with a much better record in the League Cup than Liverpool, a side perhaps it's easy to underestimate. That's normally not one of Liverpool's weaknesses. They're unbeaten in the last 11 games, and the last time they played here, they won 4-1. So it's Norwich playing something of a gambler's hand. They won't have too many people at the back. Reeves, Peters in there. And out to Alan Kennedy. Hoadley out wide with Johnson, and Johnson already beating him for speed. Hoadley in there. Been out for the last 8 games, but he's going to be severely tested early on. Mick Maguire. Trying to get by Souness. It's out. No, the referee, I think, has let it go, although the linesman flag went up very early. And a couple of players indicating the linesman, but the game going on. Phil Neal, Case, Downs behind him. Peters going to him. Alan Hansen. Bond coming in, but Johnson gets the flick. Hoadley. Peters, nicely down to Mendham. And Reeves is going to chase this with Kennedy. The flag is up for offside. Souness to Phil Neal. Case up here. Bypassing Downs. Hansen. Alan Kennedy on his left. Forward for Case. And Kennedy's gone forward. Bond takes it away rather neatly. Gets a return from Padden. And forward again, but given away to Phil Neal. Bond again. Well, they're certainly getting stuck in there. Powell coming back to help here. Mick Maguire. Looking for Reeves and Hansen. Down for Maguire. Mendham, there's nobody really wide on the right, trying to chip it over the top of Kennedy. And offside given against Kevin Bond over that far side. Kennedy forward for Johnson. Hoadley. And Ray Kennedy swats that one. Dalglish. McDermott going to the left, leaving space for Johnson. McDermott still with a lot of room. Dalglish coming to him. McDermott gone for the return, and Mendham hasn't got there. And Johnson might have this yet. He's got it. Johnson put his foot to it, and it's shot into the back of the net. They were caught napping on that left-hand side. Their first real attack, and it's in. Well, a quick give and go. Well, the Norwich defence seemed a little bit frozen when this one came up, but McDermott made the opening, and Johnson just got his foot to it when they couldn't get it away, and it shot into the corner of the net. David Johnson, his 12th goal of the season, their first attack, 11 minutes gone, and Liverpool are 1 up. And Peters is through, it's open, and a brilliant save by Ray Clements. Came out so fast, a neat little chip. As so often happens, immediately after one goal is scored, there's an opening up the other end. But Clements did well. And Johnson's left free here, but the linesman's flag this time is up. Well, things have been going really well for David Johnson this season. Found it hard when he first went to Liverpool from Ipswich to stay regularly in the side, but things looking good for him. Well, typical perhaps of the way Liverpool operate, they soak up a bit of pressure and then forward they go, and they'll feel so much better now for that one, particularly as they get an offside decision over on that far side, because Martin Peters has been pulled up by the linesman on this side. Kennedy thumping one forward. McDermott keeps running. McDermott was certainly the source of that first goal. And Ray Kennedy couldn't get it. Robson and Peters. Reeves is in the middle. Well, that's a thundering challenge from Hansen. And the referee speaking to Martin Peters. And he's penalised him for, I think, following through when the ball was cleared. Dalglish has come off, leaving space down that left-hand side for McDermott and Kennedy. Johnson's in the middle for any crosses. Ray Kennedy. There goes Dalglish. Hoadley onto him. And Nick Maguire gets a bit of a nasty one on that challenge. That's a free kick. But Dalglish, the Liverpool number 7, so strong, particularly with his back to the goal. Peters trying to get in on Souness. Up goes Reeves with Thompson. And Case here with Downs. Case the stronger, but support from Mendham. Reeves. And a free kick against Terry McDermott. Meanwhile, just behind these players, Greg Downs is hurt. But Downs is on his feet. He's not taking the free kick, though. This is going to be left to Padden with Peters over the far side. Peters coming in on this one. Gets in well, and that's Peters there. Oh, onto the bar. Robson's header, Peters' shot. Well, they've worked a lot on this one, leaving Peters free in the middle. The cross to the far post. Robson gets up beautifully, beating two players, and the swing by Peters, and it's on to the top of the bar. So Peters played up front in an emergency, so unlucky there. Johnson. Now Hoadley. Reeves couldn't get it clear, and Kennedy thumped it forward. Phil Neal winning that one. Hoadley. Kennedy forward for Dalglish. Powell is with him. Powell forward for Peters. Nicely into the path of Mick Maguire. Downs is to his left if required. This is Bond and Robson. But that's broken down. Now Liverpool on the break have more players in midfield and up front. But mend them back fast. Up for Reeves. Mick Maguire, Bond on the right, and Robson. Give away to Alan Kennedy. Hoadley's in there strongly, beating Dalglish, but unfortunately a bad pass. And now Dalglish is a bit free here as Powell comes over. And back for Keelan. Well, they're keeping the tempo going in Norwich City, trailing by the one shot goal by David Johnson. Here's Graham Padden to Maguire. A lot of room for him in midfield and on the right. And Hansen coming in front of Reeves. McDermott. Kennedy's gone through the middle well. Hoadley coming to him, but now Johnson is free. Well, the players breaking through from midfield have always been a danger for Liverpool. The long pass forward. Kennedy's on his way. He perhaps would have preferred it on his left foot. And Johnson was free inside and miscue. Well won by Hansen. Peters and Hansen again, and this time it was a foul. Peters protesting that perhaps the first one was something of the same. Well, a good angle, but not a particularly good distance, particularly against a goalkeeper like Ray Clements. Bond looking for a chip, aiming for Peters, and it was nowhere near him. And the Liverpool marking is very tight. That's for Norwich City against Phil Neal. This time it's Reeves on the penalty spot and Robson coming to the near post. Peters is in there, but it was Souness getting it away. To Jimmy Case. And a foul. By Graham Padden. Kennedy's through the middle. Johnson's going to go up and challenge for this one. Down to Kennedy and stopped by Tony Powell. And Liverpool get back very, very quickly and fill midfield. Means the inaccurate ball like that puts them back in possession immediately, or should have done. Padden and Neal more committed, and it's Dalglish trying to get McDermott forward again. McDermott, a good cross as Johnson knocks one back. Souness in there, and it bounces well for Hoadley. Ray Kennedy back to Alan Hansen. Now they're committing many more players forward, Liverpool. Case, Johnson coming to him, over his head for Dalglish, down to Johnson. Kennedy, the other Kennedy's in the left wing position. This is Ray Kennedy's shot. Phil Neal in well. Johnson. McDermott. Case getting it to Neal. Downs is there with him. And up in support here in the penalty area, Dalglish, Johnson and Ray Kennedy. This is Phil Neal. Forward for Johnson. And Norwich pulling a lot of players back. Away it goes, but Kennedy makes it difficult. And Dalglish with Johnson here. Reeves on his own. And Case lets it run. Well, they're having a good spell at the moment of possession, Liverpool. They're looking stronger in midfield. Powell with Dalglish, no foul. To Downs. Ray Kennedy, Johnson, Dalglish here, checking where the nearest player was. Johnson wide on that left-hand side. It's a lovely ball. Hoadley with him. Johnson shot, and it's straight in. Straight across the face of the goalkeeper. Well, he didn't give the goalkeeper any time to take up a position there, and it whistled straight past him inside the far post. Well, the economy there of the build-up. The ball from Dalglish straight to Johnson, and he whacks it before anybody had taken up positions, and it's 2-0. So Norwich City really rocked by David Johnson's second goal. And Johnson away again here, with Dalglish supporting him this side. Inside him, Johnson again loses it to Bond. Well, the last time they played here, Steve Highway from a similar position got 2 goals in the first 25 minutes. Johnson taking a little bit longer. Gives Liverpool a 2-0 lead, and it's Johnson again causing them awful problems. Forward for McDermott from Dalglish. And a foul by Souness. Hoadley to Powell. Forward for Reeves, and Thompson just lets it go. Hoadley and Johnson. Free kick there, quickly taken by Peter Mendham to Bond. Ford without a lot of chance of Reeves getting it. Bond thumping one in. No sweat for Clements. Well, Kevin Bond, nominally a right back, of course, is trying to help fill midfield, and a couple of gaps down that left-hand side have led in Liverpool twice. Thompson, with, of course, Liverpool finding it easy to do the running now. Dalglish trying to knock one down for McDermott. Tony Powell, goalkeeper, helping him. Reeves with Hansen. Johnson just getting in front of Bond. Awkward one for Robson. Hansen under pressure, but hasn't got a lot of support, doing well on his own. But Robson, who's a bit of a battler, refusing to give up. And it's Liverpool's throw. And now it's Norwich City's. Well, they've got a real battle on their hands, and fellows like Robson could hold the key, but a corner here given. Trailing by 2 goals to 0. They desperately need something pretty quickly. Graham Paddon over to take it. All the Liverpool players back except Kenny Dalglish. Now even he's coming back. And Robson gets a header in, and unfortunately it's straight at Ray Clements. And now it's gone out for a throw-in. Well, although there were a lot of Liverpool players in that goal mouth, really Robson not picked up here, and unfortunately straight at Ray Clements. Now time to slow it down a bit. Mendham under pressure from Souness does well. Hansen and Reeves. Reeves being given no room at all. Johnson can't get this one. Downs will have this. Good ball forward from Downs, cut out easily by Phil Neal, and pushed forward himself in support here as Powell comes over. Neal inside well to Dalglish. Now they're open. Johnson is pulled back here, and Dalglish has got it straight in. Beaten again. Well, there's a lovely goal, but they're going through them like knife through butter. That was a bad ball forward. Phil Neal did well to come up in support, and look at Dalglish summing up the situation very quickly, although he's got Johnson on his left-hand side. In it goes from the right-hand side, just like Johnson's goal a couple of minutes earlier. 3-0. Dalglish, his 13th. Just intercepted by Ray Kennedy, Thompson and Alan Kennedy here. Powell. Peters up. And Thompson with a bit of time. Phil Neal racing away already on the right in case Clements wants him. Case a good flick on. Tony Powell. Dalglish going wide. Hoadley with him. McDermott coming to the near post. Into the space there. It was meant for Case. It didn't get there. Johnson. And McDermott really running well. And Ray Kennedy's gone into the middle. That's for him. He lets it run, thinking that Dalglish was behind him. It was Hoadley, in fact. Forward for Maguire. The pressure on him in midfield. That was clearly a foul, though. Both players hurt, but Phil Thompson looks to be the more seriously injured. Tony Powell. Thompson, difficult one for Mendham. Does well to get away there. And Maguire. Mendham again. With a red hair aggression in there from the 19-year-old as Bond pumps one in. Flicked in, and here's Reeves. And they pull one back. And Kevin Reeves Reeves gives the Norwich City supporters something to shout about. Well, they worked very hard for this one in midfield. When it was flicked out wide here to Bond, then it's a Robson on, and Reeves left with a bit of space, beats Ray Clements. 3-1. So Kevin Reeves, with his 8th goal of the season, gives Norwich City a little bit of heart, but still a vast mountain to climb here. Well, Ray Clements perhaps a little bit fortunate earlier in the game when one from Martin Peters hit the bar. Had no chance really with that one. And there's a free kick. Well, it must have looked pretty bleak for John Bond in the first half hour, but I wonder if that gives him hope. Kennedy's cross, well intercepted by Powell, and Mendham with Maguire. Downs checks behind him, it's Case bearing down on him, he can't afford the risk of pass forward. And they're battling harder now, Norwich City. Reeves, Robson, Reeves again trying a shot. Mendham coming in, Peters is there, he's offside though. The whistle is gone. But certainly the game looked dead and buried before Kevin Reeves scored. Now things might change. Dalglish with Hoadley, and Johnson might get this one. He's got support from Ray Kennedy, a shot that ricochets to Downs. Coming up towards half-time now. Bond. Nice ball forward to Robson. Ricochet to Mendham. Mendham still coming. And McDermott knocks it back to his goalkeeper. Mendham has never scored a goal. Looked as if he was in with a good chance there. But he couldn't just scuff it away from a couple of other people's feet. Robson gets the original shot, then Mendham tries to wriggle his way through, and McDermott just kills it. And there, in fact, is the whistle for the end of what has been a pretty impressive first half. Norwich City started so well, but then Liverpool showed them how to finish, how to break particularly. 2 goals from David Johnson, another one from Kelly Dalglish. It seemed to be all over. But a couple of minutes before half-time, Kevin Reeves has pulled one back for Norwich City. If John Bond can pull a bit of magic at half-time, they might yet be in it. Well, that's about it for the moment. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back with the second half in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Carrow Road, League Cup quarter-final. Norwich 1, Liverpool 3. Well, on the way to the last 8, Norwich have knocked out Gillingham, Manchester United and West Brom. Liverpool not quite so distinguished, Tranmere, Chesterfield and Exeter, but they certainly look pretty distinguished here. Let's have a quick word with the Norwich manager, John Bond. John, what points did you make at half-time?
Well, Jerry, the worst aspect about it is that we're frightened to death of the team. I mean, they've got a lot of great players, and they're a great team. We've given them a present of 2 goals. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them because they've been magnificent. Their passing and their movement is absolutely tremendous. But we're frightened to death of them, and we've made just elementary and basic mistakes and given 2 goals away. So if we tighten up again and go at the game like we should do, like grown-ups and men, we've got a bit of a chance. We give ourselves a little bit of salvation just before half-time with a goal.
Are you making any technical changes?
Not at the moment. I will do if things don't change very soon. I'll probably push Keith Robson up and bring Martin into a midfield role, and then push Mickey Maguire and take Mickey Maguire off.
OK, thanks, John. It's Kevin Reeves, though, the man who gave him a little bit of hope just before half-time. To Peter Mendham. Wide out there is Greg Downs, and Graham Padden out on the left. Against Phil Neal. Downs. With Case helping, they get it clear. Well, as Bob Paisley said just recently, lots of teams can knock us off our stride, but when they win the ball, they can't do a lot with it. Well, Norwich City did pretty well in the first 10 minutes as far as knocking them off their stride. They didn't do a lot with it, and then Liverpool did. It's Downs back here for Powell. Well, they took a gamble of not playing too many players at the back. It didn't come off, and they obviously can't afford to pull too many back now. Mendham out here to Bond. Robson on the right. This is for Reeves. And immediate support from Souness. Johnson with Hoadley. Bit of time for Bond. Another good one from Maguire, straight to Liverpool, who've got 3 players over there. Neal's come up with Case and McDermott. This is Case. And Mendham breaks away. But there's nobody up front to pass to because they pulled so many back. Souness. A return from Johnson. In for Dalglish, able to turn and hold off his man superbly. Kennedy with a drive, and the goalkeeper couldn't have seen that till very, very late. Good build-up, nice and precise, and a beautifully hit shot. And the goalkeeper did well to get hold of that one. Flicked on by Reeves, but there's always cover. Mendham for Robson to chase. Ray Kennedy. And Dalglish won't bother too much about that one. Ray Kennedy challenging Martin Peters. Reeves with a bit of support on the right and left. This is Bond. Peters goes over to the far side. Up goes Peters, but it's Padden who got it, but there wasn't a lot of power behind it. And the goalkeeper was quite happy about it. Well, they worked it well on the right-hand side. The cross from Bond, 2 players challenging for it. And Padden, the stooping header, but straight into the arms of Clements. Peters pulling back a little bit more to get some possession. Flicked away well by Robson to Reeves. Robson go to the near post. In comes Padden. Flicked on and away. Downs. Well, they like the look at that from this side. They thought it was in, but unfortunately not. Greg Downs, the forward, converted to a fullback. Had a good shot there at Ray Clements after it was flicked away by Phil Thompson, dropping onto his good left foot. Did well to keep it down, but off target. And now Johnson and Powell. Well, a couple of pot shots at the other end have woken the crowd up, and there's a little bit more urgency in this Norwich City side, who looked as if they were dying not so gracefully. Robson leaping away. It's a good chance for Reeves. Well, it's all happening here now. They've suddenly woken up to the fact that a goal might give them a scant chance. The ball through the middle, a nice leap by Robson. It left Reeves with a chance on his left foot, but it bounced past the far post. Thompson wins that one, and Case will have this. Case through the middle, and Case is still going, but by quite a margin, well wide. But the power there, certainly getting it away from a defender's tackle, but the finish wasn't. Mendham in for Reeves, down for Peters, not quite the right ball for him, and just nicked away by Ray Kennedy. Room for Hoadley here. Looking for Robson, and hooked away by McDermott. Kennedy beats Bond well, and here goes Dalglish. Dalglish forward with Johnson over the far side. Dalglish on his own. Oh, he's so dangerous. In a trice, that was out of the Liverpool half and just whistling over the Norwich bar. Well, the ball played forward. He's got the pace to leave Hoadley gasping, and the goalkeeper up full stretch here. McDermott and Case to Johnson. Linesman's flag went up. The referee waves play on. Reeves, and again picked up by this strong midfield that Liverpool have. It's Dalglish has dropped back a little way. Plenty of room for McDermott, and two players here for this one. Souness with a lot of room to kill it off, and tried to chip a delicate little one past the goalkeeper for what would have been his first goal of the season, and doesn't succeed. Well, surely Souness should have finished that one off. Tons of room on the edge of the area. Kennedy and Souness. Souness with a chance to chip it and didn't succeed. Well, for those who have made the journey from Merseyside, it's been well worth it. They've seen their side play really well. Good goals up that end, and they look to be on their way to the semi-final. Dalglish trying to turn it into the path of McDermott and Souness. They get it back from Norwich, and McDermott's gone herring down the right-hand side. He's not stopped running the whole game, and I think deliberately let that one run out, knowing of course that Liverpool can squeeze up on Norwich and hold play here perhaps. Back to McDermott. Dalglish with him in the last minute. Injury time on top of that. McDermott with the throw for Liverpool. Well, Liverpool have never beaten Norwich in a major cup tie. 3 times over the years Norwich have beaten them in the FA Cup, but certainly Liverpool have got this one in the bag. Thompson in there, but he's beaten by Reeves. Souness and Neil. And coming back, an easy one for Keelan. But the game's virtually finished now as we come up to 90 minutes. But still, Dalglish and Johnson finding a lot of room up front. Dalglish losing it eventually to Mendham. And Case cutting that one out almost. And still they battle away, although obviously the tie is theirs. No point in Reeves running for that one. And time has run out too, really. Reeves' goal gave them a little bit of hope, but it was only hope. And for most of the second half, Liverpool have had a stranglehold on it. And you've always felt that if they really wanted to, they could have got another one. And there's the whistle for the end of the game. The final score is Norwich 1, Liverpool 3. So Norwich gambled, they lost pretty heavily. Another clear case of Liverpool's quality shining through. A murky night, 2 goals from David Johnson, 1 from Dalglish. Some real quality play by people like McDermott and Souness in midfield. So Liverpool are the first side through to the semi-finals of the League Cup, and a thoroughly deserved victory here. Right, from Carrow Road, let's go back to Brian Moore in the studio.
Well, now you can see why it was that after the game, the Norwich City manager, John Bond, had this to say. I accepted before the game that Liverpool are in a different world from us. Sometimes I wish it was a different league. Indeed, it really was a very good performance there by Liverpool. Their first half finishing was quite deadly, and so they go into the semi-finals. And it's a little surprising to find that's only the second time that Liverpool have reached the semi-finals of the Football League Cup. The other time was in 1978 when they beat Arsenal in the semi-finals, and then they went on to beat Nottingham Forest in the final in a replay. Or rather, Forest beat Liverpool in that replay. Let's get that right. We're going to take a back. So Liverpool then are through to the semi-finals of the Football League Cup, having beaten Norwich City tonight.